We're back with a special look at the new censorship in America, targeting people for who they are, what they say, and even what they read. PEN America tracking nearly 6,000 book bans over the last 2 years. We've seen pictures of empty shelves in Florida schools, but it's not just happening in so-called red states. Just last week, a Massachusetts police officer wearing a body cam went to a middle school with the goal of confiscating a book. Now, that was based on a call from just a single parent. And now the officials pushing this kind of censorship are getting increasingly blunt about their goals. Florida's Attorney General claiming in court that, quote, libraries are not a forum for free expression, and that, quote, public school libraries are a forum for government speech, not private speech. She also claims that those libraries should, quote, convey the government's message. This is chilling stuff, right out of a dystopian nightmare.
Now, have any of you guys ever seen one of these bad things for real? We burned almost every physical book in the country. So by the time you guys grow up, there won't be one book left. Burn it.
Joining me now is international best-selling author Michael Connelly. His books have sold over 85 million copies worldwide, with several mega-hit series, including The Lincoln Lawyer and those starring Detective Harry Bosch, both of which have made the leap to film and to TV.
Your car is fun, but why can't you get a real office?
What's more fun, my office or your mom's?
Yours?
Both. Are you sure there's not anything that you're not telling me?
I think you're the first client that ever threatened me or my family.
I have pictures of 3 young women. They've never been identified. Murders have never been solved.
Why do you keep the pictures?
To remind me, everybody counts or nobody counts.
His most recent book is Resurrection Walk. Michael, I want to thank you for being here and welcome to The Beat. Look, your books, they haven't been banned yet, I hate to say. You've been incredibly outspoken on this issue, though. Why?
Well, I think I wouldn't have the kind of things that you just showed, books and TV shows and so forth, if I had not been a kid who haunted libraries. And I read books by people that are now banned. And so to me, it's a real world gone wrong scenario when, as you just showed, the Attorney General of Florida is saying that a library is not a place for free expression. I don't think the world can get more crazy than that.
Yeah, and the irony doesn't escape me, Michael, that she's a lawyer, so she should understand that free speech is something that is protected. You know, I read something about you that you developed a passion for literature because of titles like To Kill a Mockingbird, and yet that title, that book, has been pulled from certain libraries. For example, in Florida, Florida leads the way in the United States with more than 40% of all books that are banned in the United States. Why is it so critical, then, to use your platform and your voice to make sure that people understand that not allowing anyone of any age access to read what they want to read is limiting what their creativity and their future could be?
Yeah, it has so many implications. It's crazy. Unfortunately, I grew up in Florida. I love Florida. Still have a home there. And I did read To Kill a Mockingbird in a library in Fort Lauderdale. And when PEN America came to me to be involved in their project down there, the real selling thing was when I heard that To Kill a Mockingbird, there were attempts to ban it last year in Palm Beach County, of all places, a very wealthy county. And yeah, it's just like the limiting of ideas that infect people's heads and makes them creative and sparks imagination, sparks ways of, to me, To Kill a Mockingbird is about being a hero, doing the right thing and standing up for something, even if it might cost you. So of course, I want to be part of that. And you're right, I've never been banned. I write crime fiction and, I doubt I will ever be banned, but it is, where does it stop? You just showed a clip from Fahrenheit 451. And, that scenario, science fiction, when it was written, is not too far off of where we could end up.
Yeah, and you know, Michael, PEN America has a report that found that a third of the books that were challenged in 2022 into the 2023 school year dealt with race or characters of color. Another third of the books featured LGBTQ themes. I want to ask you about the chilling effect it has on not only you, who continues to write prolifically, but people that maybe are wanting to be writers. Do you think the chilling effect is going to be that when you're trying to create the theme or develop a storyline that you're going to say, you know what, if I go this way or I go this route, it's actually going to be banned, so maybe I won't go that way or this route?
Yeah, I mean, chilling is the word. It's going to have a chilling effect on all kinds of things. Storytelling is self-expression. And yeah, I write about detectives, and guess what? I've never solved a murder, but there's me. There's parts of me in the characters that I create and I write about. So if you are in one of these oppressed groups, these minority groups who has this creative instinct and is inspired to want to tell something about your existence, I can just see where you have to say, but I might become a target. My work might be banned. I might be vilified for just my own free expression. And so, yeah, we're going to lose lots of stories. We're going to lose a lot of creative minds, spreading empathy to the world. That's the key thing. You read these books and you learn about cultures and lifestyles and things that you do not know much about, but you come to understand them, and you can build empathy, and that's a lot of the purpose of books, and that's what's in grave danger.
I would say your character, Detective Harry Bosch, one of my personal favorites, he'd had some choice words if somebody tried to tell him what he could say or what he couldn't say or what books he could read. Do you have any concern, Michael, that you've put yourself into the crosshairs now of people like the Florida Attorney General, for example, by deciding, I'm going to take a stand, I'm going to work on that advocacy center, like I'm going to make sure that access to books is given to everyone?
I'm not worried about that. I mean, I'm very lucky, and I'm also obviously closer to the end of my writing days than I am at the beginning. And so anybody can take their shots at me, and I'll be all right. I'm really not really doing this, for myself. I just think, and I'm not alone. Obviously, PEN America put together a group of really great writers, and we're all kind of taking the stand together. And it's just, we're probably not going to end up being the targets, but we have to make a stand now before everyone's targets. You mentioned Harry Bosch. Well, every book counts or no book counts. And I think that's the way that we look at this.
That's superb. Michael Connolly, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.